You're back, and that's a big dub. Hello, friend, Steve Dangle here, and welcome to the latest edition of Big Dubs, where we take a look at the best from around the WHL over this past week. We're going to start this week with a Montreal Canadiens prospect by the name of Bryce Pickford. This past June, Bryce Pickford of the Medicine Hat Tigers was selected 81st overall by the Montreal Canadiens. So far in the WHL, he has won, and now he's trying to win again. Won a championship with the Seattle Thunderbirds in 2023. A championship with the Medicine Hat Tigers last season. And this year, he is absolutely rocking it. Take a look.
Circle. Marcus Rock back pedals to the corner. Pass up top. Liam across Pickford. One-timer. He scores! First it was teddy bears. Now it's hats flying to the ice. The first career hat trick for the Tiger captain. Pickford, his 20th of this season, and he donates his helmet to the mix. 4-1 Tigers. They stretch the lead to 3 on the power play.
That is a crazy Cellys. Scoring a hat trick as the captain at home and giving the hat to yourself. Well, helmet. True story. This past weekend, a teammate of mine at Beer League scored a hat trick, and I tried to do the same joke by pretending to throw my helmet onto the ice. One of the screws on my cage fell off, and I felt really stupid, and I had to get it back on, and it didn't really work. But anyway, Bryce Pickford. He set the WHL internet era record for a goal streak by a defenseman in the playoffs with 8 straight. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that. He's a defenseman. Set the WHL internet era for goals in a single playoff with 13. 18 games played, by the way. That's it. Currently sits second in WHL scoring with 20 goals. Leads all WHL defensemen in goals with 20. Guy in second place is Jonas Wu, who's his teammate. And his hat trick in this game was his 5th multi-point game of the season. In 28 games so far, I'm going to remind you, he's a defenseman. 20 goals, 16 assists, 36 points. That's actually a preposterous stat line for a defenseman. I do have 16 assists already and more goals than that. Kid's ridiculous. Bryce Pickford, unbelievable performance, unbelievable Cellys. Big dub. Up next, we have a look at what's going on with the Brandon Wheat King, specifically Anaheim Ducks prospect Brady Turco. Get a load of this.
Wide. Hadlin's after the rebound. He'll work down the boards for Egan at the right circle. Back to Turco, walking up the goal line to his backhand. Scores! Brady Turco, slick hands in tight. And the Turco-Egan-Hadlin unit strikes again.
Well, they certainly do, and again, it's Jimmy Egan front and center. He almost gets an opportunity just before that.
Goodness gracious, Brady Turco. That's such a nasty move, pulling it to your backhand, basically being like, here you go. You're like going fishing, only to go, whoop, just pulls in the reel and tucks it. Brady Turco has 10 goals in 25 games so far, which is wild because in his 75 career WHL games before this season, he only had 8. The McCreary, Manitoba native has the hands, man. That's a nasty move. Brady Turco trying to prove the Ducks right for picking him 200th overall in the 7th round back in June. Wouldn't that be quite the story? Brady Turco of the Brandon Wheat Kings. Big dub. Coming up next, you'll never guess how many goals this guy has once you see this one. Here's Red Deer Rebels defenseman Nate Yelawaga. Watch this end-to-end beauty.
Plays it over to Nate Yelawaga. 6.5 minutes to go in the first period as the Rebels' first-year blue liner out of Calgary darts over the Raiders line, makes a couple of moves, has it down low, shot, scores! Bobby Orr style, coast to coast, Nate Yelawaga with the beauty. He puts the Rebels ahead 2-1.
Yeah, great play by Yelawaga, and you know what? I remember seeing him do that in October and November, and I think he's got that. And when he made the move to go to the middle at the Prince Albert Blue, and I thought, yeah, keep going, man, keep going. You got this.
That's disgusting. Just cutting through everybody for his, you're not going to believe it, 2nd goal of the season. Yeah. No, I think that number's going to increase. And underestimate Nate Yelawaga at your own peril. He won a title in the BCHL last year with the Brooks Bandits. Now he's a defenseman in the WHL as a 17-year-old, 11 points in 26 games. The guy was somehow only a 9th round pick in the WHL draft in 2023. But if he can put it together like that consistently, we're going to be seeing a lot more of this guy. Nate Yelawaga of the Red Deer Rebels. Big dub. For our next highlight, we have a player who we featured before. Remember a couple highlights ago I talked about Brady Turco going 200th overall in June in the NHL draft? Well, Jacob Kvasnica of the Penticton Vs was picked 2 picks later, 202nd overall, by the New York Islanders. And on this play, he does everything.
Chip to the line, held in. Good stick by Rudig, but then he lost it to Kwasnika. Kwasnika's going to take off. He leaves pressure, got around one, to the goal. Backhand, scores! Short-handed goal, Kwasnika. And that's just some talent out of Minnesota, making it 5-2 in the short-handed goal. Kwasnika is going to play for the U.S. at World Juniors and now puts Penticton up by 3.
Goodness gracious. Steals it at his own blue line, goes end to end, and then the jumping windmill. Imagine you don't finish that off. Imagine. I guess we'll never know. Kvasnica was originally selected in the second round of the 2022 WHL draft by the Winnipeg Ice. He was acquired by the Penticton Vs this past June in a trade with the Wenatchee Wild, and he joined the Vs this summer after leaving the U.S. developmental program. And he's already been named to the training camp roster for Team USA at the 2026 World Juniors. So there's all those details. He's just really good. In 28 games so far, 13 goals, 33 points. Yeah, something tells me we're going to feature him more. I don't think it's going to be two and done for him. Jacob Kvasnica. Big dub. For our last highlight, man, I'm a sucker for a teddy bear toss goal. And this one happens to be nice. Here's Cade Rudig of the Kamloops Blazers.
Blazers on the puck, Cade Rudig. Rudig makes a move, makes another one, pulls it free. Rudig in tight, scores! Cade Rudig pulls out the selfie celebration. And here come the Blazers, here come the Bears. What a goal by Cade Rudig. He's the teddy bear goal scorer for 2025 as the Blazers mob him off the bench. And you can tell in that first period that Cade Rudig wanted to do something special tonight. He just did it. 2:02 into the second period.
Goodness gracious, the hands, that's ridiculous. Now, Cade Rudig didn't even begin this season with the Kamloops Blazers. He was actually acquired from the Portland Winterhawks. And I'm going to go ahead and say this trade's been pretty good for him. He had 2 goals and 1 assist in 10 games with Portland. The defenseman is already at 7 goals and 7 assists for 14 points in 18 games with Kamloops. He's already up to 3rd amongst defensemen on the Blazers in scoring, behind only Ryan Michael and Issa Gurum. Already leads all Blazers defensemen in goal scoring. The move, the goal, the Celly, the teddy bears. Cade Rudig. Big dub. The move, the goal, the Celly, the teddy bears. Cade Rudig. Big dub. So, what'd you think of this week's edition of Big Dubs? Did we get them all? Let us know in the comments down below. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this edition of Big Dubs. Click subscribe to SDPN for all things WHL. Tell all your friends. Doesn't matter where you began the season, it's where you end it. I had to burp that whole time.